You know what it is, man. DJ Thoro, a.k.a. Thoro Zano, the bridge to the streets. Right now you're watching the hottest in the streets right here on thisis50.com.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men.
I'm on something.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men.
That bag coming.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men.
You know what's up.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men.
Yeah, you come up. Yeah.
You know I have a segment on the show, right?
Oh,
You know what it's called, right?
What's up?
It's called On the Spot. you know what that means, right?
Yeah, I know what it means.
See, this is your guy right here.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
we need to
This is
let
how
these
it's
people
going
know what
down?
they got to look forward to, man.
All right,
G.
that's what's going to
See
happen.
what you got. Let's go. PM Dawn, man. It's legendary right here, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Docapella?
Acapella. Let's go. I want them to listen, not hear.
All right. Hey, yo, I sound like a sound boy. I'm not like the rest of them. My mission in life, pick up the mic and get the best of them. Docs at the plate, slugging percentage outrageous. K-Rock feeds me tracks all day, so I'm steady raging. Prime motivators demolish all warriors. Bobby Roode even knows our SmackDown's glorious. Took time off to heal from old wounds. Lost a cousin and a spouse, smacked up a couple goons. Court cases closed, now I'm back to the tunes. And I'm blowing all mumble mouths back to the dunes. Green and black monster, Rozelle, Soul Reaver. Serve you a tombstone, it won't be a pizza. I am not the one that you provoke to get tripe. I murder spaced out has-beens and their bloated wives. Might have cut the hair and compressed the sock, but when your teeth fall to the floor, you realize it's the same, Doc.
Okay. All right. Salute.
Word.
Legendary, man.
Word.
I got two special guests in the building. Introduce yourself.
Yo, it's K-Rock.
Dawn Doc, PM Dawn.
PM Dawn.
Wow. PM Dawn. My first memory of PM Dawn, I was at Coney Island actually. I was at the fair. My mother took me to the fair. Well, Coney Island, we call it fair, whatever. And the song "Set Adrift" from Memory. What was it? What's
Set Adrift from Memory
Yeah,
Bliss.
"Set Adrift" from Memory Bliss. And I always remember that record, man. That was like a dope record. Now some people credit PM Dawn as being the first Drake, if you will, the first singing and rapping and like. Will you embrace that?
Yeah, that definitely embrace that, man.
Right.
First, let me just give a big rest in peace to my brother from another mother, Prince B.
Prince B. Okay.
And I'll tell you, it took a lot of healing,
Right.
but ready back to do it. And I tell you like this, that growing up, we always loved Spandau Ballet. You know, I used to get on his nerves. He'd come to my grandma Ruby's house and I'd be playing that stuff. And I actually used to like the song Gold more
Right.
than True.
Right.
I was like a Spandau Ballet like fan.
Right.
It was just, doesn't, make people not want to
Right.
chase you down the block when you're a kid. So, but it was just a powerful thing. It's like at our core, we were just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is, jelly is something smooth, peanut butter is something rough. You know what I'm saying? You get True, Ashley's Roach clip.
And yeah, it was dope. Now, from my personal observation, that whole era, that was the era of, I would say, separation within hip hop, where some guys gave you flack about, oh, you're not real hip hop because you're singing and that's not hip hop and the way you're dressing.
They called it alternative hip hop. I'm
Right.
sorry, to cut you off, bro. They called it alternative hip hop. And for some reason, it always used to fall on us and Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, right?
And I think they used to say it to some extent in the late '90s about the Black Eyed Peas.
Right.
The original core,
Right.
And I always felt like it shouldn't be that. And one of the funniest things that I'll never understand is how put I Die Without You on VH1. You know that's VH1's so hip hop now, right? But back then in the '90s, they refused to play I Die Without You because they said it's a rap record. But
Right.
but they don't want to acknowledge, you know what I'm saying? But we was a rap record and you couldn't play it back then. So
Right.
that's some funny stuff.
I mean, look at the music industry now. I mean, they doing a lot what PM Dawn has done. I
Right.
mean, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, the irony of it is
Yeah,
that's
gotta
the
pay
normal now.
homage.
You
Yeah.
need to do that as opposed to
Yeah.
now the hardcore
Yeah.
stuff. They don't want that. They want the watered down, so to speak,
And-
the happy music.
And you know what's crazy? I heard a record that the group The Internet had that had a drum loop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they kind of did their thing. I was like, oh, okay, I'm peeping game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Now, also, I noticed on that album, y'all had a record. I forgot the hook was like, if I'm not hip hop, what you call us, and then they would start playing Apache. It was like I forgot the song. It's on PM Dawn. It's one of those records where you're addressing people saying you're not hip hop, and then he's like,
It's plastic.
plastic. Is that
They
what it
go,
is?
I'm not hip hop. Then what's this?
Then what's this?
Yeah,
They play Apache,
yeah.
whatever.
Word.
That was dope. Like I guess you guys felt the need to respond to people saying you're not hip hop because of the way you dressed or sounded or looked or whatever.
Well, he didn't want to come back specifically trying to go at Chris. You know, that's
Yeah,
well
I got. Yeah,
documented.
you know, we have to
And
speak on that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't want to come back on that. He wanted to present a positive image.
Right.
So that whole video, they were like throwing guns in the fire and everything. It was just a crazy experience. But yeah, that was his way of saying, you know, a lot of cats that are trying to be hardcore, you know, that's what he say, it's plastic, because you think you ready for the fire, but when you get close to you, you melt near the heat.
Right.
So that's what it was, and
Right.
that's where we come through every once in a while. Where we would freestyle there. We talk about plastic MCs. That was our way of, you know, instead of always biting and running them saying suck MC, we say plastic MCs. Yeah.
All right. So as we speak today, what do you have a relationship with Chris? Which is KRS-One. Did y'all pass that up, or where y'all at?
All right, I'm gonna tell you this story, okay?
Right.
I'm not trying to start beef, especially, and I'm gonna tell you first off, before I even tell you the story, I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
B told me. He told me to my face when he was healthy, and he told me in his hospice bed. I told you, stay the fuck out of it. You weren't even there when it happened.
Right.
I let it go. You let it go.
Right.
There were times where I would not listen. And one time that I didn't listen, almost did a dumb thing. And a couple of years ago, I was at a birthday party for Bumpy Knuckles.
Okay.
So you already know you don't
AKA Freddie
violate.
Fox.
Yeah, Freddie Fox. Shout out to Freddie Fox, by the way. Another person that inspired me. That every time they hold me down, I got tough.
Right.
Love that. So,
Real quick, here's
yeah.
a fun fact. A lot of people don't know the original Eric B. is president. Marley Marl had did that record with Freddie Fox, but he didn't show up.
Wow.
And Rakim showed up, and he ended up recording it.
Interesting.
That's a crazy
Yeah, but I just had to throw that out there because I'll forget that. But go
That's a
ahead.
crazy
Jewels
story.
right there.
I got those too. But let me tell you. So check this out. I remember a bunch of people performed, and I remember Tretch was there. I remember smoking a cigarette with Tretch,
Right.
and then DMC got on stage. Kane tore it up, as always. Naughty tore it up, and then Chris was there. And I just remember just being enraged. You know, maybe it was a little bit of what happened. Was a lot of what happened, and it was also a lot of, you know, what had went down. Because see, for me, it was personal because I don't think he realized that we loved him as much as we loved Run DMC,
Right.
JMS, and LL Cool J.
Right.
I mean, remember the video, the bim 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 with him and Just Ice on
Right.
top of the junior high school over there. Yeah. Let me tell you, I used to eat free lunch as a child at that junior high school.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, that's another way that I said, I can do this because, yo, they spitting bars on the roof of the school that I ate free lunch at during
Right.
the summertime.
Listen, before you continue the story, let me recap for the audience because a lot of our audiences are very young.
Right.
They have no idea what incident we're talking about. There was an incident, and correct me if I'm wrong. There was an incident where PM Dawn was on stage. Basically, KRS-One came up on stage, took over the stage, pushed him off stage, and proceeded to perform "I'm Still Number One." And ever since then, that's been a legendary situation as far as KRS-One threw PM Dawn off the stage and did "Still Number One." That's
all right.
pretty much what happened, right?
No, I'm gonna tell you what happened, and this was as told to me by
Okay.
the Prince. He knew he was in the building.
Okay.
But prior to this, he had said some things in some interviews. He had made a comment which was deemed inappropriate. I think the first one was something about Chuck D making mountains out of molehills, but by the time I get to Arizona, off that amazing 91 album.
Right.
And he got a chance to talk to Chuck and explain what he meant, and he apologized to Chuck.
Right.
And Chuck, being the amazing soul that he is, they worked it out, and he educated him, said you need to, just watch how you say things and, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Then they did this magazine, and I believe it was Details, and from what B always told me about it, he felt the guy who wrote it and did the interview with him had an agenda and was against the alternative hip hop rising, if you will.
Right.
So he twisted the words around and made it seem ugly. What Prince told me he meant was he meant what he said to the guy was he loved Chris, but he just couldn't understand how he walked both sides. And when the guy said, "What do you mean?" He said, because 1 minute he'll say, listen to my 9mm go bang, and the next minute self-destruction. It's like, as a fan, he just would like, and so the guy twisted that around and said, KRS says he's a teacher, but a teacher of what? Who wouldn't want to attack somebody after? It's like you clowning.
Right.
So he don't know Chris's agenda. He knows he's in a building. He tells everybody, yo, my favorite rapper, one of my favorite rappers is here. Everybody got to step their game up, And then he said he remembered going on stage. He remembered saying, "Sup, Chris?" And the dude just had this cold ass look. And he said, you remember he went over the minute, was like, "Yo, did you peep that?" And the homeboy wasn't paying attention. So then they start performing. He said it seemed like 40 dudes or whatever. He was a 450-pound dude,
Right.
We didn't roll around with bodyguards or nothing like that back then. So he threw him off the stage.
Right.
He threw him off stage with his peoples. And then one of the things I always remember, I did an interview back in 2007 in Boston, and the guy said, "Listen, here's Rampage's number. He needs to call you, tell you something." Rampage from, Last Boy Scout. Shout to Ramp, Flip Mode.
Yeah, Flip Mode. Yeah.
So I called him. He was living in Arizona at the time, and he told me, "Yo, man, I owe you an apology for your boy." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "We all was there. Everybody was there. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Somebody should have had the heart to do something, and it was wrong. And I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry, fam. And if something like that ever happened again, you better believe that, they have to fight us." And I appreciated that.
Right.
It was something to that effect, because it was a long time. That's what he said, and, so I always have respect for him. So Chris was in there, and I was about to move toward him, and one of my best friends grabbed me and said, "Listen, stupid, there's a gun on every corner, and they're all printed it as this. If you do anything here, you will not live, you will not survive, I will not help you. You need to think. Your boy already told you let it go."
Right.
I let it go. He told B what happened, and that's when B screamed on me from the bed, the hospice.
Right.
And I was like, all right.
Okay.
Sometimes you can't hold on to anger and things.
Right.
You make bad decisions. People get hurt.
Right.
You could get hurt. So
Right.
let's
All
just
right,
move
well,
it on.
that was a part of hip hop history.
Right.
I speak on everything up here, the good and the bad.
Oh yeah, I don't
So,
mind answering it. No, I'm always gonna tell you the truth on
I
this
speak
stuff.
on everything. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the forwardness now. You guys are a whole new situation here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a personal good friend of mine. How did you come into this scenario of being a member of PM Dawn?
Well, first off,
First of all, let everybody know who you are, your discography, and everything.
all right, K-Rock from Virginia Beach, Virginia, 2 Up, 2 Down. Some of the people I work with has been Merce. I actually produced Merce's lead single off his Captain California album.
Okay.
God Bless Kanye West. It went number 22 on Billboard charts.
Okay.
I've done stuff, unreleased material for Nick Cannon, Michael Jackson.
Hold on.
Oh God.
You can't just say Michael Jackson. That cliche, like, oh, Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown.
Oh no, I ain't say Prince.
I know, but
Yeah.
we can't call
Right.
these names
Right.
and we not have a conversation about it.
Right.
How the hell did you do anything with Michael Jackson? Period. How did that happen?
Blah 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 blah. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Just dealing with Teddy Riley.
Oh, Teddy
you know what I'm
Riley.
saying, on
Okay,
a few stuff.
you worked
Yeah,
with Teddy Riley.
so-
Okay, that's a big deal, man. You gotta speak on that.
Teddy's a good producer. Just
He's
at the
a hell of a
time,
producer.
business wasn't
Right. Okay.
right. But I was at the right place at the right time. He put me in position for some stuff, and then
Right.
rest is history.
Now, did you get to personally get in the studio with Mike, or you just? Was
Oh
it,
no.
Is it like now how everybody records
No.
the songs,
It
but
was-
they're never together?
It was more of like, you know, working with other producers and
Okay.
other writers and
For-
stuff
for
like
a-
that.
for a track- for a song.
Yeah. And then
I'll take that any day.
then the rest was history. So
Right.
it was like, oh well, we want this record,
Right.
and this record.
Now, when I think about Virginia Beach,
Okay.
Virginia,
Okay.
period, they have a legendary producer culture down there. You're talking about Timbaland,
Right.
Pharrell,
Chad,
Missy Elliott, Chad.
yep,
You know, like,
yep.
oh, y'all like breeding. What's going on? Is there a breeding field for producers down there? Like,
Honestly, man, like Virginia Beach is like a mixed culture. You got the military, like Navy
Yeah, the military,
and stuff
right.
like that. You got sports players that play sports, and then
Right.
you got kids like us that either skateboard or
Right.
whatever the case may be. So, I mean, we were inspired from people from like New York and LA. You
Right.
know, when you guys had a message to say, we were like, yo, I want to know what it's like if you loop this drum or if you played this guitar or these keys or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we were just experimental, and that's why like a lot of the producers from Virginia, that's why we have a distinct sound, because
Right.
we're just all experimenting certain things and then mashing things
Right.
together, which it's like gumbo, you know what I'm saying? You make, you know, dope
Right.
dope stuff, man. So yeah, I mean, I'm grateful I'm from Virginia, you know what I
right
mean?
now, Virginia's dope.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Magoo? Remember Timbaland and Magoo? Where the hell is Magoo at?
Well, last time I heard, he was doing some management for several producers, like a producer named Hannah Lane.
Okay.
And I don't know if he was doing some stuff with Danger Hands. I may be wrong.
Right.
But I know he was doing management for producers and
Right.
stuff like that. And then,
Okay.
you know, tapping into real estate and stuff. So
Right.
I don't want people to think that, like, just because you don't hear from people in VA that they fell off, because they
Right.
haven't. It's
They
just when you get older and you made your mark in the music industry, you know what I'm saying, you venture into other things. Yeah,
right.
yeah, for sure. So
No, I get it. So you're up here today, and this is 50.
okay.
What do you have out? You got a new project out?
PM Dawn is the
I know
new
that's,
project.
that's the
I
alley.
mean,
Let's talk about that's the alley.
you know what I'm
So let's
saying?
talk about, is there a new PM Dawn album? What's the first
Oh
single?
yeah,
Let's get into it.
we definitely working on a
Right,
new
what's
album.
what's the new song? What's the first single off the album? Do we have that yet?
We got several joints.
All right, he's gonna put it on me.
Yeah, I got to.
All right, first let me just say this. This guy helped me a great deal, man. It's one of those situations where you lose a brother, and God put one right back in your life.
Right.
That's how I feel about this man right here.
Okay.
This guy would hit me up on Twitter and be like, "Yo, man, sorry about your loss. Ain't anything you need, whatever." And you catch so much flack. There's so much negative bullshit on the Twitter. It's like, so you just end up not. And when you lose somebody, man, you go into it, man. You don't want to do anything. You're just weak. And then one day I just looked. And I'm like, nah, this guy ain't clowning. He's So I hit him up. Then I called him. Then next thing you know, I'm on a plane to AZ, and then now we back in the booth, and the whole setup looks like what me and B was doing down over in Jersey.
Right.
And I'm like, it's Planet Fat module.
Can I say some of the equipment that I have in the studio?
Yeah,
Because
let's
I'm
do
a
that.
gearhead.
Oh yeah.
We talking about SSL 4000 EGG
See, I see my man
plus
Wonder looked up when you said that.
32 channel,
Right.
Neve 1073 vintage modules. We talking U47 microphones, AKG, the tube microphone,
crazy,
with
man.
original CK12 capsule. And my U47 mic was previously owned by Glenn Campbell, the country singer. And my SSL console was previously owned by Dr. Dre. See, a lot of people. Hold on, yeah.
I can touch that.
So the console had 3 owners. It was owned by Dr. Dre first, because he had got it from American Studios, which is AKA Encore Studios in LA. Then it got passed down to a studio called Kitchen Studios in Dallas, Texas. And a lot of people that worked on that console was like Erykah Badu, and Paul Wall, Slim Thug. Yeah, basically everybody that's in Texas,
Right.
because Erykah Badu lives in Dallas
Live
too.
in Dallas, right.
So me and my lady, we basically got it. We literally picked it up from Dallas. Like, we drove it. I was like, yo, I'm not shipping it. I want to be down there personally
Right.
to dismantle and bring it. So we
Wow.
drove it down from Texas to AZ, and I hooked it up. And yeah, so everything you see like in a multi-million-dollar room in the studio, I got the same
You got the
thing in
same
my
thing in your
crib.
crib.
So I record and I mix, you know, no middleman.
I was gonna just say that not only you produce, you engineer,
Yeah,
you mix,
I
you
actually
do everything.
mix.
You
Yes.
do everything. So
Yes, I have a technique.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're another Dr. Dre.
It's like Dr. Dre mixed with Jay Dilla mixed with
Right.
Teddy Riley,
Right.
all in one.
Now, how important was that for you to develop those skills? Because a lot of people, like myself, I
Yeah.
can produce, but I don't know how to mix. And
Well,
I
you
don't
know,
do that.
again, it's about experimenting and your ear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people all the time, I'm not a classically trained player, but I can play keys. I'm not a Chris Law Algie or Tom Law Algie in mixing, but I'm K-Rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to build your own sound, bro. You got to go for what you know and what feels good. If you're doing different EQ points and you're like, okay, well, this vocal sounds too dark, then change it.
Right.
Don't be afraid to turn knobs, you know what I mean? There's no disrespect for people that go to like Full Sail and stuff like that, but the real learning is hands-on,
Hands-on.
actually touching the gear, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, have you mixed in any albums that we may know about?
I did assistant producers mix on Murray's God Bless Kanye West.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when Murs sent his vocals and stuff like that, because he
Right.
recorded at another studio in LA,
Right.
but when he sent me back the vocals and stuff, he was like, yo, put your producer's mix on it. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm used to that. Like back in the day, you had like A-side, B-sides, and all the other stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. And I did my mix, and then, of course, their in-house engineers did their mix and the master,
Right.
and call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this PM Dawn project. What's
Okay.
the name of the album? That the
Oh, you want me to
album?
say the title?
Do we have a title?
We agreed
Peanut
on
butter
that?
and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, we
Peanut
agreed
butter
to
jelly.
it. Yeah.
Peanut butter
All right.
And let me explain that. So peanut butter is basically like your hard drums, you know what I'm saying? And then the jelly is like the smooth melodic, you know what I'm saying, sounds.
Right.
So,
Well, we was gonna, and we was gonna. I also working on a project called Always Looking to the Left,
Right.
because the first time I had to perform on stage without Prince B, I broke down because I was used to seeing my boy on the left, right? And
Deep.
but then I said, you know what? As time went by and you get stronger, I don't really believe you heal from when you lose people, because you sit down sometimes around the holidays, you still miss grandma, right? You know what I mean? So you don't really heal, you just get stronger and you go, all right, I gotta push.
Right.
So I said, I don't want to be miserable on the record. So I'm like,
Right.
let's just be about the work.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you guys got, coming up. But I will say this: I think you're at an advantage because you've been doing this since you're damn near the originators of what's going on right now.
and what's crazy is I was telling them that because again, if okay, for the new fans and new people that never heard of PM Dawn, which is rare, but if you never heard of PM Dawn because of your age, you're younger, if you listen to our catalog, it's basically what some of the pop artists or some of the hip hop heads are doing today. Not talking about the trap stuff, and there's no disrespect, but I'm talking about real music, substance. If you listen to it, you would say, oh shit, PM Dawn was doing this early in the 90s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can imagine when we drop new music
Right.
for today,
Right.
how it's going to sound. We're ahead of our
Just
time.
like to take a risk, when you work with one of the greatest of all time when it comes to that, and they grind you and they make you haul those crates out to Roosevelt and everything, and you start to learn things like
Oh, we got to tell that
you
story.
got to listen for, Benny Goodman's on that horn, Miles Davis,
Right.
you got to look for name. And I'm not afraid to take risk. He's not afraid to take risk. And I like to do things that other people don't hear.
Right.
I have a Missy Elliott mind state. I don't listen to what's on the radio. Can't let your kids hear it anyway. So,
Right.
so I'm not biting anybody and
So-
he's not biting anybody. Let's just innovate.
I got a question. I mean, because I don't care about numbers, but you guys had such a unique sound, and that record was huge. The Set Adrift record. How many copies is that officially platinum? That has to be platinum. Has
yeah.
it?
I think it's double platinum.
It's
I could be
double,
wrong.
yeah.
I think it's double
Right.
platinum.
That record was huge. Now, how the hell did y'all get? I forgot the original sample.
It was.
How the hell did they clear that?
I got two words for you. John Baker, G Street. That guy was a magician, and when you get somebody like him, that man moved mountains for my whole
Right.
family, and you know, he made everything happen.
Okay.
You know, we don't even speak, not on some, you know, beef or nothing, but we just,
Right.
you know, paths don't cross. But you know, when that guy has you dialed in,
Right.
it could be anything. It could be rapping. It could be being a limo driver. Anything. When he has you dialed in, he's like the fucking a combination of Larry Brown and Phil Jackson. Like, imagine if Larry Brown beat Phil Jackson. That's how John Baker is with music
Right.
and business.
Right.
And so he made things happen.
Right. All right. We're in a different time, obviously.
Right.
Of putting out music, the way people consume music.
Yeah.
You know, the way they hear it.
Hmm.
How you guys position yourself to, you know, put this music out as in terms of how you did it back in the days? Because it's a whole new. You don't even need a record deal anymore. You know, we got the internet.
something?
We got, you know, visuals, YouTube.
Ever since I started getting more into it, I feel like I treat hip hop the same way I treat fatherhood. I'm like the greatest American hero. You know, you take off and you leap, but when you land, you always fall and bust your ass, and people laugh.
Right.
But it's just the mentality is just do it,
Right.
and just make it happen, not by any means necessary.
Right.
And however we put it out, I'm trusting Rock Boogie over here, and no, because sometimes, you know, a wise man says, you know, when somebody says, "Hey, we got to do it like this,"
Right.
and I know it's not what you're used to do, but you got to trust me the way I trust you,
Right.
and that's what being a team member is all about, man.
Right. Now, are you the sole producer on this project, or are you accepting
absolutely.
beats for outside producers? Or is this
nah,
is this like
it's
a DJ Premier Guru thing?
No, yeah, that's what it is basically.
Okay.
I mean, minus a few.
But it's the cold of the
uh,
bush.
minus an extra few musicians for hire, you know, like guitars or something like that,
Right.
live guitars. But aside of that, nah, all me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Peanut Butter and Jelly. That's the album.
Mhm.
When can we get a release date? What's the release date?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say coming soon, and I'm
Coming soon?
gonna tell you why is because right now we are still experimenting on a few things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now we're not saying coming soon as in like 2 years later or
Right.
something. You know what I'm saying?
people have
But
these coming soon
yeah,
hiatuses.
right. But it's
Right.
definitely coming out soon. You know what I mean?
All
But
right.
we definitely got some.
So until then, is there a single out that they can go check out right now, or anything on the you know, the social media that they can go see from PM Dawn?
You want me to answer that?
Lay it on.
Okay. We actually are gonna be releasing several singles around July time.
Okay.
One, Crimson Crush, right?
I knew he was gonna.
Uh,
No, because you know how when you,
That's why, but you
No,
know,
he like-
that's why
you
Jordan
know how
know.
when you do something and I'm like, maybe I could have. Like, no, this is gonna do
Right.
it. So it's one of those things where you just gotta trust your boy, because I'm like, oh man, but
Cri-
all right, go on,
Yeah,
go on. I do what I'm told.
Crimson Crush, Get Down With Me, and then the one that he always fights me with, Romance of a Distance.
Oh, come on.
Hold on, romance,
Come on.
Romance of a Distance. Hold on. It's a real, and you know, I'll play a sneak peek for you after the interview.
Okay, all right, salute.
Word.
Legendary, man.
Word.
Legendary. Who would have thought when I was at Coney Island, I'd be sitting here years later and he busting around with PM Dawn. I'm just chilling here. You know?
Yeah.
This is dope, man. I thank you guys for coming through, man.
Man,
I
thank
wish
you.
you the best of luck. Keep putting out great music. We need that. We need a balance, you know. We got enough for nonsense
Yeah.
and buffoonery. I personally need good music, you know? I
Yeah.
want to hear good music, good beats, and substance and content. That's what I want to hear.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
so before we get out of here, anything you guys want to cover that we didn't cover?
Any shout outs?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shout out to my man Chaz Singleton and his beautiful family. Astro Clown Productions, that's our guy, directs our videos and everything.
Yeah.
And go get that Boss of the Bliss, all right? Go get that one. That one is already streaming. And look out for all the new stuff. And thank you to This Is 50 and this great man right here, and that man behind the camera that's making it
DJ
happen.
Wonder, DJ Thoro.
Wonder, DJ Thoro, all right?
Wonder.
That's what it is.
It's good to be in NYC.
Right, and if anybody want to follow you guys on the social media, because that's where we at today, how can they get in contact with you? They may want to book you up for some shows,
You
get the
go
bags
first
up.
and then I'll say
Let's
mine.
go.
Yeah.
All right. We got on Twitter, you got at Undisputed Doc G and at, what is it? How is it?
Official
PM
PM
Dawn.
Dawn?
Yeah, at official PM Dawn.
Yeah.
We're PM Dawn on Instagram. And I don't do Snapchat.
Me either. So
Oh,
Yeah.
PM Dawn for real for the SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yep.
all right.
And then for me, krocktheproducer.com, Instagram.com/NEVESSLU47KRock. Same thing for Twitter. And just in case if you're wondering why I had that underscore, Neve SSLU47KRock.
Yo, what does K-Rock stand for, my dude?
Man, kings respect other kings, man. That's what it stands for, bro.
Whoa.
That's
Nice.
right. And PM Dawn now means Prime Motivators Demolishing All Warriors now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And DJ Thoro stands for I'm out of here, bitch. Hey, but you watching This50.com, man. It's the hottest in the streets. You know what it is, man. And you know my famous slogan, right? When you see us,
One
knee us. Let me pay respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men.
I'm on something.
10 men, 20 men, 30